Hello. I was crying, just so you know. Um, so I kind of want to talk about light energy and this is something new for me to talk about, so I feel so reserved, but it's so anxious. But I want to talk about it because well, one, I just experienced my first um I feel like light awakening is the word that's coming into my mind. But all I did was meditate. So spiritually I am very open to interpretations. Um I look at spirituality very uh expansively. So I I'm very open-minded when it comes to religions and uh the world on a spiritual level. And so I like to meditate. I like tarot readings and I like discussing uh, the world. I'm a world learner and a world teacher naturally as a spiritual person, and I have been wanting to have a lot of self growth in the past 2 to 3 years, and a lot of my journey has been, you know, learning self, learning my childhood, and growing up in a lot of ways, taking accountability for my growth and my uh, soul evolution. And with that being said, I I involve myself. I utilize a lot of my time with introspection, journaling, and meditation. I do a ton of writing, just to put that out there. Like when I say I journal, I mean I write almost every fucking day. So it's constant. My brain is just a constant flow of words. So I like a lot of philosophy as well. So with all this being said, I enjoy feeling and seeing and experiencing a lot of things in not a tangible way. I enjoy um, kind of fucking with uh, my perspective. It's funny because my one of my favorite albums since I was little is Paramore's brand new eyes, which means like a new perspective. So that's just how my soul is. I love that kind of stuff. And so I was meditating today. This is what I'm trying to get to. I was meditating today, um, having no intention going into it besides wanting to be at peace or wanting to be in the moment with myself. That's something I'm working on this year a lot, is being in the present moment with my life, because you'll hear it all the time. People say, "Wow, that year went by fast," or like, "Oh, that when you were a kid and you had summer break, you're like, wow, summer break went by so fast." And you are like truly enjoying your summer break, or hopefully you're enjoying your year in every way, shape, and form. By, I have a very open minded perspective about experience. So whether it's labeled good or bad, I kind of view it as just an experience, and I'm grateful for it. Anywho, um, I had no intention with my meditation, And I just wanted to enjoy the process. And so, I worked on relaxing my body, focusing on my breath, being in the present moment with my mind and my thoughts, um, and being really intentional about what I said to myself mentally. Um, about, instead of having my mind break me down with self doubts, I worked on um, being intentional and direct and assertive, but not shamingly with my thoughts to myself about things I enjoy and things I want to do and incorporate and what I deserve and what I'm worth having and becoming. But I don't say ever like what I'm becoming. I just say this is what I am because I'm already there. If it's already what I accept and want in my life, I already have it. So, as I was meditating and working on those inner thoughts and inner feelings, this I just kept seeing a lot of light, like a lot of brightness, and I could feel it in my body of this energy where it felt very pure, and I could envision it around me and envision it within me. And with that, I started to feel very light on a soul level. And with that, I could see it kind of like in my mind, it was like woof, woof, like a wavelength. You see it kind of do this, that's how it felt almost. Pretty much, it exactly did feel that way. So, with that being said, um, I started to think about God and God energy and heaven like energy, angelic energy, pure energy. And it was almost like I was a lighthouse lighting up because I heard in my head, she has awakened. And I was like, like, well, now I'm looking back and I'm like, whoa, but as it was happening, I was like, yes, I have, like, whatever. And I got this image of this woman who is also a light worker, and she, was excited. She's the one who said she has awakened, and she was so excited that she went to go, you know, um, tell people, um, other light workers, like, hey, she's awakened. She's there. She's getting there. She's already there. She's getting there. She's already there. She's pure. Period. So as I was experiencing that, I could feel, the universe, light, God. I think God is light for the universe. I think that's really how that correlates. At least that's what my brain's saying right now. I got the image of that. So, um, and so I kept saying, like, I deserve to be in heaven. I'm a good soul. I know I'm a good soul. My heart is pure. I don't ever want to hurt people intentionally. You know, I get very conservative sometimes and I don't like that. And I do think there's I think you're allowed to be selfish and I think you're allowed to be selfless. You know, I don't think that makes you a bad person. Um at all, and there's no such thing as a bad person. You have to accept the good within you. You have to accept that you're good natured. And that's what I was doing. I was accepting that I forgive myself, that I'm a pure soul that deserves love, light, and happiness. And I already have it. There's nothing I'm lacking because I already am that. So, and I could see the light like getting bigger and bigger and like just brighter and brighter, like levels up. And it wasn't like quick, it was just like you would notice it, like you would be aware once you consciously became aware of it. And I said, I'm worth being in heaven. I deserve being in heaven. And I got to see. Now, the way I view heaven and hell is I view it as a like state of being, or like I choose my form of heaven and I choose my form of hell. But I do think heaven and hell is also tailored to your soul. So whatever your soul or your ego is afraid of, that's your hell. Whatever your ego or your soul uh, resonates with, whatever level you're at, that's your heaven. And it's a conscious choice of how you view heaven and hell. But we view hell as bad and heaven as good, but I don't think we ever view it in a instead of a duality way. I guess duality is like the same thing. It's like yin and yang, because there's a little bit of heaven and hell for people, and there's a little bit of hell and heaven for people. You know, people don't like being bored and being comfortable completely to a point that it feels like purgatory, right? So that would be someone's hell within a heaven. And if you like dangerous things, or you say, like heaven's like, we don't talk about the darkness, but like I love darkness. I love anything that's dark. I love anything that's, fucked up and weird and kind of just sinful. I love it. So I'm like, well, there's a little bit of heaven and hell. Like, um so with that being said, I think you could view it from a duality way between heaven and hell, or good or bad, or really anything. I think everything's a mirror, so uh, everything reflects one another. I'm spitting out a shit ton of like beliefs and views, and I'm sure everyone's just fucking confused. I don't mind confusing people. Um, I always have, so it's fine. Um, but so as I was, let me go back to the meditation. As I was within the meditation, I said I belong in hell, in heaven. I belong in heaven. And so as I accepted that light within me, and I accepted that my heart is good, that I accepted that I'm worth it and I'm deserving of being in heaven, I got to see, I guess, my version of heaven, even though I'm like, it could just be heaven. But I'm gonna say it's my version of heaven. Um, and I just, when I was there, it was just very gold like and bright. It's not gold as like money, even though I do view God as money, like it's the same thing, abundance. But you know it it's the color of gold. Light is the color of gold. Pure light is like very gold. Excuse me. And so I got to see, like, my version of heaven is very open. It's very earthy. It's your typical idea of what Eden would look like, like trees and flowers and pretty like pond lakes with like the light glimmering over the water. The sun is like warm and it's like just peaceful. That is my kind of heaven. And that's just because that's the way my soul vibrates, and I understand that. There's also a lot of butterflies. But um and so I got to see that, and then I got to see what I looked like as a soul in heaven. And I that's where I'm like, whoa, because I now know, like, when our souls are out of our body, like when we travel to whatever you believe in the afterlife, when we travel to heaven, we do not, our souls are not, they don't function in the way that our physical form does. The way that I saw me was like, I didn't really have an eye color. I was voided of a pupil color, but my eyes were almost like glass like. Like it was very glossy. And I think, oh, stone, no. Um, I think it's because it's because um in reality, if we look at light, it blinds us, right? It hurts our eyes, so we wouldn't want to just stare at the sun. So as I try to make this quicker, that was how our eyes looked. You could see the energy field outside of our soul bodies and how they extend outward. Um, I do think we have wings, but I also think we don't have to show our wings, so it's like a choice. You get to choose how you want to be. And for me, I was like, man, my heaven, I would be dyeing my hair all these different colors. But what I learned is you don't really have to, because this is my version of heaven. I saw that the light reflects off our hair in a way in which we can see all the different colors, like a rainbow, like a prism, how light reflects and off water, um, or anything uh, clear, right? And so that's kind of like how our hair was, where the sun or the light would reflect off of it and it would look like multi colorful. Like, but everything looks very iridescent. So that's how I can explain it. That's what I saw soul wise. And I'm telling you, like, I just wanted to be there the whole time. I was like, I don't want to leave. But I started to realize, like, okay, it's time for me to go. Like, I'm okay with leaving. So I kind of just relaxed. And I had to slowly come down to the world. Um, that was my meditation experience today. And I'm like, whoa. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I wanted to share it. So that's what I'm doing. And I know people view religion, heaven and hell as like the systematic way that we're taught. And I say systematic way because we do live in a system. Um, but the way that I think heaven and hell and anything in that nature is entitled and tailored to whatever soul that you embody. So I think, uh, I think when people say you have to accept God or accept that in that type of thing, people always imagine like a physical God or things like that, but I don't think that's how it works. I think it's all energy based, and I think um you accept that, you accept yourself, like, because if God made us in their image, I say there because God is neither man or female. They're not limited to the 3D dimensional gendered form that we have. He's not lim They're not limited to man's idea. uh so when people say that God's a man, I'm like, y'all are fucking dumb. No, man has taught you God's a man, but we don't know. So honestly, I say God is an energy form that's literally non-binary. So, um, anyways, I'm sprouting off so much, and I really just want to talk about light and the energy of accepting love and light and I guess God into your heart. But again, I don't view God as the systematic way that people view it. So take me that way. Um, Try to see it from my perspective. I'm not here to shove anything down people's throat. I'm just here to share my vision and version. I think version is really just a vision of your own. But anyways, I'm sprouting off so much. I don't give a damn. But I just wanted to share. So I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Just remember one thing. Whatever you experience is neither good or bad. It's how you choose to see it. It is your choice. Unless something really traumatic happens to you, then please go speak up about something. About that. Please. I still think that's a good thing to be speaking up about stuff like that. But anyways, I'm sprouting off so much. I could make a whole fucking video about my ideologies and uh opinions, perspectives, perceptions. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Bye.